Woo! Here we go, folks. We are loud, we are proud, because it is mean and green time. March Madness is upon us. So we are busting out the Ninja Turtles one more time. Long-time viewers know we had a run-through of Ninja Turtles 3, the Manhattan Project for the NES, and the Sega Genesis Hyperstone Heist, as well as all three versions of the classic Tournament Fighters, which we did in one big stream as a compare and contrast of the different versions. So we're going to something older than all of that. The first Ninja Turtles beat 'em up, the first one to make it to the arcades. Really one of only two, at least here in America. Excuse me. Whew, a little bit of liquid there. But yes, folks, this is the NES port of the arcade game, as you can probably tell from the graphics. And it's a good time for all. We got plenty of lives, so we're gonna save the day and beat the shredder. And we're gonna do it with my main man Donatello, because here at Roulette Productions, and especially Bardic Plays, which is this show in particular. Woo, gotta get my beat 'em up mindset here. But yes, we do love our beat 'em ups, and we do adore our Ninja Turtles. Oh, got me that time, got off my rhythm. I'm burning, but I'm not burning. Woo! So many foot soldiers. See, these are very important to note the difference. Purple foot soldiers throw sharpened stars at you. Blue foot soldiers throw sharp knives at you. Both will cause stabbing damage, but they're different shaped stabbing. Very big difference. I mean, I'm not gonna give the game too much snot. You know, this was an older game. There was a limit to what kind of attacks they could have characters doing. We don't want to pick on the game too hard. Oh! Now the stabbing damage is more of a cutting, slashing damage for swords. Here I am with my wooden stick and my incredible intelligence, for Donatello is the genius of the team. That's why deep down inside we all love Donatello. And you know you do, because you're my friend, and friends don't argue about who the best turtle is. Whee! I love it like this entire building is on fire. Like, it's just fire everywhere. And yet, like, you don't see anybody. There we go. Ha ha ha. There we go. But you don't see, like, anybody else. That's what I'm trying to do here. Worried about, you know, escaping the burning building. Is it that everybody in the building evacuated before the turtles got here? Or is, like, April the only person living in this entire apartment building? Because, I gotta tell you, middle of New York City, yeah, I don't think that's happening, not on her salary. You can't just buy an entire apartment building for yourself on her salary. It's okay, April, I'm here. Stop panicking. Mwah. Mwah. Oh no, ugly mutant rhinoceros. Rocksteady. But yes, this is a game that I had as a kid. I had mentioned this when we played the previous Ninja Turtle games. I had played Manhattan Project by renting it multiple times because I just, you know, have always been all about the Ninja Turtles, and I like the level variety in Manhattan Project and the special attacks they added to the game that aren't in this one, which is okay. It's still a great game. That's what you do with sequels. You add to it. Let's go. Rap. Oh, there we go. But, Hyperstone Heist was a completely new play for me. I had played the NES Tournament Fighters as a kid. But by and large, like this and the original Ninja Turtles game for the NES, which is like super hard. I have never beaten it without use of cheat codes and save states. So, but yes, this game was, you know, this was my jam as a kid growing up. I'd played the arcade game when it first came out. Many a quarters were spent on it back in the day. Never beat it solo. I beat it once with a friend of mine, but it took a lot of money for us to do so. Wait, can I still... That was... I think I gotta hit it from the other side. It's too late. I still didn't hit that. Waha! But yeah, it was not an easy to beat game. And when it came out on the NES, it was a must buy. It was a must buy for me. I mean, I didn't buy it. I got it as a Christmas gift, but it was a must have for me. And I played the ever-loving mess out of it. I think, the Dynamite Foot, who are also purple, but they are not the Ninja Star Throwing Foot, because they have dynamite. Yep. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-doop. Oh, okay, don't need pizza yet, because I just... Yeah. I mentioned earlier about the only time I've beaten the NES, the original NES Ninja Turtles game was as an adult with proliferation of cheat codes. And so let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to be very honest with you people. Haha, scared the skate girl. Pizza time. I am using the Infinity Lives code because I do want to show off the game. I'm not trying to show off my skill at beating the game. I want people who have maybe never played this version, because I know a lot of the modern re-releases just re-release the arcade game. Like some of the Ninja Turtle games on like the Xbox and the PlayStation had the arcade version as an unlockable, but this game was not re-released. This port was, I do not believe this one's been re-released on modern systems. As you can see from the Pizza Hut signs, there's a lot of corporate logo nonsense going on, which would be a legal thing, I'm sure, especially if modern Pizza Hut did not want to be affiliated with the Ninja Turtles anymore. But, woo! So many foot. I am but a lone turtle fighting an army. Are I not brave? But yes, since And I mean, obviously, I'm not the only person in the world that has played this game on stream. But it is something that people do default to the original arcade version. And besides the graphics, there's a couple other versions, difference versions in this. Which, hold on, here's Bebop. Yep. Oh, there we go. Okay, there I am. I think I re-apparated right over the hole. Because, yeah, you can fall. Let me show you real quick. Whoop! Put the lights out. Yeah, you can fall in those holes. So it's not just like you get smacked with the sewer cover. It continues to be an ongoing... There we go. Ongoing danger in these levels. I know, I'm not trying my strategic best like I have been with a lot of beat-em-ups, because I know I have infinite lives, because we're just doing this for fun. We're doing this to show off everything without having to take several episodes trying to play and replay the same levels and just shenanigans. Like, I think when we did Ninja Turtles 3, it took 2 parts because I had to use all of my continues. Like, when I beat that game, for those of you who have not seen that video, first of all, go watch it. I have it in my lovely archive, my lovely master archive, which is available on the tube that is you. So if you're not aware of my channel on that, it is, as I said earlier, Roulette Productions. Look us up. All the Ninja Turtle playthroughs I just mentioned are on there. But when we did Manhattan Project, I barely beat it. That was I did it. I think I did. I used a built-in cheat code in the game for some extra lives, but that was the first time I had ever beaten the game. And if you didn't see the playthrough, I'm going to go ahead and spoilers, besides the fact that I did beat it. But yeah, I was down to my last continue and my last life. I mean, just absolutely 100% no joke. That was... you could not have gotten any closer to getting to the last boss and failing than I did. I was in a, oh my god, I don't know if I can do this situation, and lucked out. Ah yes, the magenta soldiers with their sledgehammers. How very Triple H of you. Years before Triple H used it. Seriously, I think he started using the sledgehammer in like, what, god, hold on, let me do my math. That was, first time Triple H used a sledgehammer would have been I think he started using it in 1999 after joining the corporation. So yeah, this would be a good 8 years before. Maybe a little more counting the original arcade version, because this port came out in 91. There we go. But yeah, yeah, it took me 2 episodes because of using continues and having to replay a couple levels. And I want to do this one as a one and done because we have some other Ninja Turtle games to play in March. Maybe some other franchise, depending on my hardware and how much I can make it behave when I need it to behave. Woo! Can't hit me, missile. Can't hit me, missile. But yeah, it's all good. But I was saying there were some differences between the NES port and the arcade version, the original arcade version, besides the graphics. And the basics of it is that there is 2 exclusive levels in the NES version, with their own unique bosses that have never appeared in any other game or on any of the shows, as far as I'm aware of. Maybe, I don't know. I don't watch the current show. So I don't. Maybe they snuck them in as a quick one and done reference, but I don't believe so. I was poking around the internet earlier today and I didn't see reference to that. Whoop, here we go. And but yeah, a couple of the other bosses. Oh, human Baxter Stockman, inventor of the Mousers, man of multiple ethnicities. Okay, see, now I gotta explain that comment. In the cartoon series, Baxter Stockman as a scientist the original cartoon series in these video games, he being a kind of a lackey and one not intended to show up in every episode like the Shredder, was portrayed as a geeky, nerdy, loser, Caucasian scientist, which is fine. It fit the tone of the cartoon very nicely. I always enjoyed seeing Baxter Stockman show up when he did, because especially after the first season, it was one of those like once a season treats. Like, oh my god, recurring villain, Baxter Stockman's back. What's he going to do this time? But in the original Mirage comics, the current IDW comics, and the most recent live-action movie, my opinions of which are in a Friday Ramblings that you can also watch on the Roulette Productions channel. I went through all of the Ninja Turtle movies that have been produced, all 6 of them. 6, yeah, 3, then the one off, then the 2, yeah, all 6 movies, giving quick little reviews and plot summaries. Let's check out that video too if you're a Ninja Turtles fan. They're gonna eat me. But yes, but as I was saying, in the different comic versions and the most recent movie, because he was not used in any other movie previous to that, Baxter Stockman is portrayed as, and he's immediately mutated into a fly. No explanation, just now he's Fly Stockman. But he is portrayed as a African American, person of color, whichever term you prefer. Not trying to, say one term's better than any other. I'll use both terms, or, whatever you're good with. But he's also usually in those portrayals shown to be more independent. He's not always a lackey. In fact, in the IDW run, he is very independent-minded and is often manipulates the turtles and the other villains into taking each other out for his benefit. So it's kind of a thing. There's Baxter's got many variants over the different continuities. So this is one of the bonus stages, or not the bonus, but one of the, God, I forgot about the snowplows. One of the new stages to the NES version, which is the snow-covered Central Park. And it's an unnatural snow. A plot of the Shredders to cover the city in eternal winter. So we have to put a stop to it. And his evil snowman robots as well. Nobody wants to be putting a carrot on a snowman and have it shoot missiles at him. Or her, whoever you are. Did not mean to specify a pronoun there. I apologize. Everybody can make snowmans. Even turtles. However, you cannot make them attack people, for that is mean. But yeah, this was one of the bonus stages. And this is why I'm like, I don't... I'm going to start going into game review stuff here. There's a lot of things the arcade version does better than the NES version. But I do give the NES version major points for having the extra stages. It's like they knew they were going to have a graphical downscale and that they were limited to 2 turtles at a time instead of if you had enough buddies with enough and everybody had their own quarters. You could have all 4 turtles playing in the arcade version. I never pulled that off. I usually was just playing with one person or myself. Oh, wide open area. There's my snowplow. Visual clues. So, yeah, they added the extra stages kind of as a balancing act. And I think it's that kind of pro and con thing of, hey, there's more content technically in the NES version, even if it doesn't look as good and if you can't have a full 4-turtle force like in the arcade version, 4-turtle team-up. You know, there's the balancing act. So I think both games, honestly, are kind of equal in that sense. Because it's like, you know, they didn't just straight port it and go, oh, well, there's going to be stuff that we can't do as well as the arcade game, and we're going to have to limit the number of players, so we'll just, you know, what the, there we go, a little lag there for a second. It's like, oh, well, we'll just produce the inferior port, which, and I'm not even being snotty there. Like, a lot of arcade games that were ported to the early NES, I mean, that's all they were. They were just inferior ports. I shouldn't even say NES. The first Atari 2600 port of Pac-Man was god awful. Like, it is a horrible port of Pac-Man. Like, when they later ported Miss Pac-Man, they definitely learned their lessons. But yeah, this was produced by Konami, and although under their Ultra label, which I'll talk about in just a second, because it's kind of fascinating, especially for modern gaming folks who, oh, here we go. Okay, here's the boss for it. But yeah, Konami sat there and like, well, you know, if we're gonna port this, let's balance out the fact we have to have some limitations due to the hardware differences between an arcade machine and the NES. But yeah, the whole Konami Ultra thing. So one of the things Nintendo did during the NES, and I think they were still doing it during the Super Nintendo days, but I think after the Super Nintendo era, like around the N64 era, I think they started lightening up because of the competition they were getting from Sega and Sony and everything else. It was, you know, the video game market was in a different place, but Nintendo, in order to encourage you to theoretically make the best games possible, limited the number of games a developer could publish on the NES. So what the companies would do is they would form basically shell companies. Like Konami had Ultra, Atari had Tengen. There were a couple others. I don't remember off the top of my head, but, and that was the idea, is that it's like, oh, well, you know, we can make, this might be the number, but just for even round number, hypothetical for now, we're going to say like, oh, Konami can make 10 games. But then they have their programmers transfer to this company, Ultra Games, and they say, oh, well, this is a different game company, it's a different game publisher, so they get their own set of 10 games, which allow them to, there we go, spring is sprung. We are green again. Spring is here. Whew. Okay, here we go. But yeah, it allowed them to essentially double the amount of games that they were putting out on the Nintendo NES. I don't know. I'm saying Nintendo because that's just what everybody said as a child. Because, I mean, the company was called Nintendo. The hardware was officially the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES for short. But because until the Game Boy came out, and even then, it was the Game Boy, everybody just called the NES the Nintendo. It really wasn't until the Super NES, which again, we just called the Super Nintendo. Like, it's just one of those things, is the whole entertainment system part, like, we just, as kids, we didn't care about. It's like, this is the company. It only produces so much hardware. It has the NES, so it's the Nintendo. Oh, well, now they have the Super NES. Well, yes, that's the Super Nintendo. It was just this thing. Like the N64, well, it's the Nintendo 64. Which, I mean, I think by that point, pretty much, I think we all just kind of started saying N64 because it was shorter. But, yeah, it was the thing, Because you couldn't do that with other console companies in modern times. Like the Sega Genesis, because most people didn't have the pre-existing Master System, the Genesis was a lot more popular. Like, a lot of people called the Genesis the Sega for short. Like, so it kind of went with Sega, but in modern times, like, you wouldn't call any given PlayStation like the Sony. You wouldn't call, the Sony 2. Because it's Sony. They had already made 1,000 other products. They were a huge conglomerate. Yeah, I would not be beating this game without these lives. Like, I have not played this game in, probably 3-4 years. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but especially since I started streaming, I've played a lot of other beat-em-ups, and I don't remember a lot of the traps in this game anymore. Like, when I was a kid, oh my god, yeah, I would sit there all day and just, I was playing this game on an almost daily basis. I had most of these stages memorized. Is it not? There he goes. Okay. I was about to say, most of your items like that are destructible, which I thought was a great feature. It's one thing to bash something open to get an item, but to make it a one-off weapon, that was something that was not super commonplace in beat-em-ups at the time. Usually, if you destroyed something, the point was to get an item. It might explode and hurt an enemy, but like we've seen from when I played Final Fight in a couple different versions. It wasn't as commonplace as it is in this game. No, I did not lure you close enough. You knocked me away and then followed me. But yeah, why are you making me hurt these people, player? I am looking at you and asking you, why do you make me fight? I am a turtle of peace. Nah, just kidding. Let's kick some butt. But yeah, the whole alternate labels thing, which is funny because like nowadays people have all these different hacks and mods of games, including this one. I looked it up. There's a few interesting ones, but like one of the things they all like to do is they like change the front logo that says Ultra Games to Konami. And I'm like, why? Like, I get it. Ultra Games doesn't exist anymore, and it was always Konami. But at the same time, like, bro, it's like it's people have known about the Konami Ultra thing for decades now. Like, you don't have to sit there and make it into this big, hey, we're revealing the secrets thing. It's like when people talk about like, oh, wrestling's just all scripted and fake. You know what? Yeah, big freaking deal. We've known about that for like 30 years. Blatantly publicly talked about for 30 years. WWE had Tough Enough, the training reality show. They blatantly showed, young wannabe wrestlers learning how to do moves and how to bump in the ring. It's like, it's not a big thing you know. I mean, deep down inside, the fans always suspected. But it was one of those things of, you didn't care. I mean, that's like, you never see that in movies and TV. Like, it's one of the things that killed me. Like, you never see that in TV shows. You never see somebody sit there and say, well, you know. God, see, now I gotta try to think of current. I don't watch current TV. I can't think of an example, but like movies. Like, nobody sits there and, you know, says, oh, well, you know, John McClane's just a character that Bruce Willis plays. Bruce Willis really doesn't beat up and kill all these criminals. It's like, yeah, no duh. Who cares? It's entertainment. Woo! Party van! If this van's a rockin', don't come a knockin'. If this van's a rockin', don't come a knockin'. Yeah, getting my April kiss. April is rescued. Now to get revenge on Shredder. But yeah, I mentioned the earlier IDW comic. I think I've pretty much talked about it every time I play a Ninja Turtle game, but it really is excellent. Now, I have not read the original Mirage series, but I mean, I have read the Archie comics. I've not watched the latest cartoon series, but I've watched all of the previous cartoon series. I've seen all the movies. And I'm just going to say flat out, the IDW comic series... forgot about convertibles. This is what I'm saying. But the IDW comic series is, in my opinion, the best iteration of the Ninja Turtles. Just their story, the character development, it is incredible reading. Like, anybody who likes the Ninja Turtles, pick up some trades of that. There's a lot of minis involved and some annuals. I think I did a count at one point. And when Kevin Eastman ended his run as head writer at issue 100 of the regular series, I added it up, and I think counting the annuals and the different minis and the Tales of the TMT spin-off series, which ran for a few years, I think I said it was like almost 200 issues actually for the entire, what I call the Eastman saga. Because after 100, Sophie Campbell, who has long since done a lot of work with Ninja Turtles and different continuities, took over as the head writer on the main series. Eastman is sticking around as like a story consultant, but his story that he wanted to write ended with 100, and it ended incredibly. Like, it's just. That last major arc he did was just one of the best Ninja Turtle stories I've ever read. And knowing that it was basically built up with every issue written, one way or the other, that every issue written, whether it was the main series or the expanded universe, to borrow a term from Star Wars, material, that in its own little subtle way, missed you that time. Everything built up to that big finale. It's like, that's how you plan stuff. And it's just like, it kills me when like TV shows don't understand that. Where they just keep making seasons well after the story they wanted to tell is because, oh, the money's so good and the fans are still there. And it's like, and the Ninja Turtle, I'm sorry, the original Ninja Turtles cartoon suffered from that. Like, I think it was like last season, maybe 2 seasons. I'd have to go back and look at my episode count. They, by and large, got rid of the Shredder and introduced a new bad guy, and then the live-action TV series, The Next Mutation, did that. Because it was like, there's no more story to tell with Shredder. It's like, how often can you see Shredder get beat up in a single continuity? And it was like, no, this is... I love the original cartoon series, but like, I'll even be honest. I quit watching the series about a year and a half before it ended, like, just because I was like, you know what? No, it's like they've said what they need to say with the Ninja Turtles, at least in this timeline. You know, but they ran it until the ratings dipped low enough. They did not. You know, and the toy line did the same thing. Like and that's one of the things I give some of the newer series. They've run less years, and they've had less episode counts, and they just feel more like they know when to walk away. It's like, okay, we're gonna sit there, we're gonna let this series end, we're gonna take a break for 2-3 years. We're going to come back with a brand new series. It's its own continuity. And I think with something like the Ninja Turtles, which is, you know, that's the best way to do it. I was too close to bat it back. You know, it's like the movies. There's been 6 Ninja Turtle movies. I would not have wanted to see 6 movies based off that original continuity. Like, they made 2 good movies and a barely watchable 3rd movie. Like, oh my, and part of that is, and I don't even mean to be mean to Initials 3. Like, I talked about this before, but I'm just going to reiterate really quickly. The Ninja Turtles 3, where they go back in time to ancient Japan, like, as somebody who's older and who's done some writing of their own and who spends a lot of time now analyzing, woo, helicopters, skateboard level, auto skateboard tracking, yay. Like, seriously, you have... stuff like this is taken for granted now in video games, but you really can't understand, like, back in the day, like, how much fun levels like this were, because not every game would do this. Like, not every game programmer knew how to make a level like this. You know, this was a treat when your game had a level like this, where it's like, oh, there's vehicles and this sense of fast movement, and, you know, and the vehicles follow you, and oh, and all the bad guys have a little skateboard too, and there's helicopters. Like, that's not something every game did. You know, so yeah, levels like this were just all the rage back in the day. This is all the funs. But anyway, like I was trying to say, the thing with Ninja Turtles 3 is, I can see where script-wise, like when they were pitching the script, it felt like, oh my god, this is going to be a great movie. You know, the Ninja Turtles get solo time to shine, and they get their own little stories, like Michelangelo's going through this awkward phase as he's maturing and growing older, and Raphael's finally coming to terms with his anger management issues that's been dogging him the whole trilogy. Ah, we're crashing! Let's bust this They took Splinter, how dare they? Splinter is our mentor and father figure. We should save him. Sometimes foster father. Again, depending on continuity. But yeah, like, I see the point. Like, you can see it in the final product. There's individual scenes of Turtles 3 where you're like, man, this is as good a movie as the second one. It's even got some, you know, genuinely well-written character interactions that, you know, are up there with the first movie. And then they just do some incredibly lame joke, or you see how low budget the suits were, and it's just like, oh, no, never mind. This movie sucks. So it's just, it's one of those. And I'm not going into the last two or the solo CGI, because I talked about those in detail. We have that video, and you need to watch it. Part of my Friday Rambling series, where I talk about all kinds of movies. I'm not going to double dip. Doo-doo. But yeah, that is something I try to do, like even now with my video games. You know, I've streamed some video games on here that I had never played before. I was just like, well, you know, I'm going to stream it because I've always heard about this game. And, you know, and some of them are games that are infamously reviewed online for being horrible and awful, bad games. And it's like, you know what? They're really not. They're not great games, but they're not shameful. Hold on, I want to show you this. Skeleton! Gotta love that laser equals X-ray logic there. Yep, I definitely would not have survived this long on a not cheating playthrough. I do not have that playing every day master rhythm that I used to have. But that's okay. Because we're having fun. So much nostalgia every time I play this game as an adult. I do. I think about all those times as a kid playing this game, you know, coming home from school or sitting on a Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon even. And it's like, you know what? I'm just going to play Ninja Scrolls 2. And I had the stage select code, so I could even play I could even just go to the last stage and just play Shredder and beat it. Which I know is kind of cheating, but you know what? I didn't care because it was my game that I owned, and I could play it however I wanted. I wasn't showing off to anybody. I wasn't trying to earn cool kid points. It was just, you know what? I'm doing this because it's an awesome game, and it's my childhood, and this is how I choose to play it. And that's why I stream the way I do, where I focus on enjoying the retroness. That's right. That guy Donatello's staring at. He enjoys the retroness. Just the simple joy of playing games. Oh no, more drillers! Who's coming out now? Multiple buzzy bots. They done zapped me good. They got me, pa. Yip, yip. Yip, yip. Gotta stick and move, man. Gotta stick and move. Haha. More buzzy bots. But yeah, like, I've never on this stream, like, played a game to feel like, you know, I'm showing off my skills. I beat Hyperstone Heist by the skin of my teeth, and I was surprised. I genuinely didn't believe I was going to beat it because I'd never played the game before. As I said, Manhattan Project, no. Solo run of Manhattan Project, yeah. I didn't think it was going to be a thing. But I was just playing, and I got in the zone, especially on that second episode there, and we just made it work. But, I guess that's another reason I'm going ahead and cheat coding this. It's like, look, I mean, Tournament Fighters whooped my butt, but that was a fighting game. You know, that was the thing. But the other two beat-em-ups I managed to beat, so we're just going to see the entirety of this beat-em-up too. Because we kind of started a tradition. Even if it was unintentional. But that's the thing. It's like, I never sit there and pick a game and go, I'm going to play this game because I've mastered this game and I'm going to look so cool to all the people who watch this video. No. I say, dude, this is the game I feel like playing. I'm going to play this game. Haha, I stand in between you. You cannot hit me, but I can hit you. Ah, blessed pizza. It's a rock soldier! Yes, interdimensional minions of Krang, his rock army. Which, again, I love how they did that in the IDW comics where he had soldiers and they were kind of tough. But then he made them rock soldiers by building them these, like, exosuits with mutagen variant in them to work as, like, super steroid. It's like, that's cool. Ah, he got me. I will rescue you, father. Do not panic. But yeah, so it's just a thing. I mean, I'm all for people who, play very competitively and, master games, because honestly, I've had some games where I couldn't figure out how to just beat a given boss, and I looked up videos from gamers who have dominated and mastered and can show you the perfect strategy, and I'm grateful for them. I really am. But, that's not my goal. My goal is just to show people the fun of these games. I don't know if there is any game I've played where I would, submit a run of it. Definitely not for any speed records. I've talked about how speedrunning is definitely not my cup of tea at all. Thank you, my tututs. Let's defeat the enemy's ninja magic. Okay, so this is this is the second new stage. The dojo. Which is supposed to be like where the one that the foot ninja train in. Which means we are actually getting pretty close to the game, because there's this level and then there is the Technodrome. So we are doing pretty good on a run through of this game. Oh, these guys. These are not the guys I remember, though. What I remember this level is the tigers. Where are my magic tigers? Because I want you people that have never played this game before, or played it so long ago you don't remember anything about it, to see the magic tigers. These guys are jerks and jokers. But this level is all about the tigers. Where are you at? Not you. You're just foot ninja. I've been fighting you all game. Dun, 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 dun. Ninja Turtles gonna fight now. Everybody's wearing purple, but you're not my purple posse or the purple people eater. You're just purple ninja jerks. You broke the tatami mat! How dishonorable! I must punish you with my stick of violence. Violent stick, smacking you with my violent stick. Kids, do not play with fire at home. This is a video game, though, so it's allowed. Do not knock over candles. Not camels. There's no camels in this game, David. You see any candles, Donatello? Camels? No, just candles. I know they're different words. Shut up. My dad works at Nintendo. He doesn't. I can't back that up. So many of you. It's almost like this is some sort of training center for ninja. Perhaps I should have brought 2 sticks of violence. Ah! The bamboo spears. Ah! More bamboo spears. They've caught me in a chain of bamboo spears. Magic tiger! Ah! Magic tiger! Magic tiger's gonna eat me! Magic tiger, pops out of a painting, is black and white. Wants to pounce on me, slash open my shell, 'cause it's the magic tiger of death. Bad part is, this isn't even a boss. This is just like a regular enemy that just... And another one. Here we go again. See, this is the part where the level takes a bit of time to do. Come on. See, that's your best hope with these things. You can get their rhythm down and keep knocking them back. Come on. There. Well, that one's burned up anyway. But theoretically, if you can keep the right rhythm and keep knocking them back like that, they'll keep coming from the same line and direction, and you can just wear them out that way. But keeping that rhythm's really hard because they change up their bounce height. And Robo-Scorpions, because why not? It's like we've had everything else in this game. Why not just have Robo-Scorpions? That just feels like one of those like late night programmer planning sessions. Man, we need an enemy for this new dojo stage we're building. You got the creepy looking Cyclops ninja guys, right? Yeah. You got the magic tigers. Yeah, but I feel like we just need something else for variety. We really got to make these levels stand out. Since this is the new content that's really going to convince people that have already played this game in the arcade 1,000 times to buy the NES port. What about robot scorpions? In a ninja dojo? Robot scorpions, bro. Yes, robot scorpions. Pizza. Pizza. You know what? Let's go ahead and get this thing hashtag Twittering. I bet there's pineapple on that pizza. Because yes, I put pineapple on my pizza. What you got? Crazy robot samurai, dude. Crazy robot samurai, dude, with detachable head action. Your crazy detachable flying head is so distracting. Haha, now you blow up. I blow you up good. Mwahahaha. That is the fate of all who oppose Donatello. The turtle destroying. The turtle who destroys things. Not the destroyer of turtles. For I am a turtle that destroys, not a destroyer of turtles. It's an important grammatical thing to understand. For we are in the Technodrome. There is no going back now. We must destroy this cursed place once and for all. And all who dwell within it and swear loyalty to the Shredder. For none may shred in this world without Donatello's consent. And I do not give consent to shredding, for shredding is inherently non-consensual. Nobody consents to be shredded. You must suffer for your non-consensual acts. Ninja Turtles, Ninja Turtles. Smacking foot in every level. At least they don't have magic tigers, 'cause those guys are really tricky. But they have freeze guns. little tripods of death. I am the one who brings death to the tripods of death. I am the Death Tripod Deathmaker, who makes the death to the tripods that also make death. Because I do not want them tripods to make death of me, so I death them first. Death, death, death. Have I said death enough? I don't want to undersell how much death is going to happen here. But I don't want to over-exaggerate the death either. Because I'm not all about the death, you see. I think I've gotten some sort of speech impediment, where I cannot stop saying the word death. Ha ha ha! Machine gunner! Guns are bad, okay? Shouldn't use guns, okay? People get hurt when you shoot them, okay? Could it be? Is it? Elevator! Ah! Somebody's rolling very large marbles at me again. We haven't seen these since the first level. It's a throwback. I don't need pizza, I just died. Pizza, pizza, pineapple on my pizza. It tastes really good, especially with extra cheese. Gooey pineapple death. Tried to get me, but it is I who got you. Get over here. Get over here. You're being a pest. In fact, you're very good at it. One might say you are the best pest. It's the Triple H Brigade! There is the pizza. I have no more pizza. No matter what the toppings are. I have eaten it all. Another rock soldier. I like that you see him, like, cock his missile launcher. Like, he's pumping it. It's like, load missile. Even though I have an infinite amount of missile ammo, I still need to pump and prime the gun for firing. And also, I club you with it instead of just non-stop shooting missiles into your face. My wall of staff swing. That didn't work for very long. How many kicks to the face can you take? To the face can you take? To the face can you take? How many hits to the face can you take? Let's find out together. You are blinking now. I can sense your weakness. Kablooey with you. Now we fight Krang. Ha 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 ha. You cannot hit me, but I can hit you. Eventually you will fall from my many kicks. And stick smacks. I will also throw in stick smacks just to confuse you. I cannot be stopped, Krang, for I have the power of infinity, and you do not. Although you do seem to have infinite rocket fist. I don't know how that works. We're so close. I can sense the end is near. There, you have begun blinking. Your weakness is apparent to all now. Go kablooey with you, now and forever. Invincible! Curse you, brain boy. Finally, it is you and me and you. You did not know that the Shredder could laser blast. Oh no, the helmet! Woo! Or a sneeze. I must de-helmet the other Shredder. For hashtag reasons. Always outnumbered. So unfair. Pretty sure that's the fakey fake. Yep, because he died too quickly. Oh. I got Super Smash Brothers. I like that he didn't even hold up the new one. It's like the N64 one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, he got the original Smash Brothers. N64 came out for GameCube. Yes, because GameCube was when they abandoned the cartridges, at least until the Switch. Even then, there's a debate of like the flash memory cards or real cartridges. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry, I started mumbling to myself. I was thinking of something else. Sorry, folks. But yeah, that actually does bring up a good point. For you old school video gamers. Okay, originally games were on cartridges. I don't know why my mind went to this while I'm in the middle of playing. But, you know, we like this Ninja Turtles game were on cartridges. Big plastic doohickeys that hid the little bit of circuit board. Like, seriously, if you've never seen somebody open like an NES cartridge, there's a lot of just empty space. It's just in there so they're large enough to where you can get a grip on them and they can protect the circuitry board. I don't know the full details, but yeah, it's not like as chock full of caramel goodness as you would expect. But anyway, eventually games moved on to CD. Well, Nintendo especially. You know, you got the DS and the 3DS and the Switch use little cards. Basically, it's like the SD cards. Okay, that should be the Prime Shredder, so I just want to keep attacking him. I think they're switching on me. They switched on me. Now he's gonna split again. Or not. Or not. Is he already too beaten to split? Yes! Haha! Okay, there's the end of the game. So yeah, what I was saying was, like, how much of a difference do you personally see between the old school cartridges and the modern SD card style games? I just don't know. It's like, there's definitely a difference between disc format and cartridge format, but then, like, when they went to the Freak the Foots, Mangled the Mousers, Total the Technodrome, that's Turtle Power. Burgess Toast, Vaporizing Milkshake, How do you vaporize something to milkshake? If it's vaporized, there's nothing there. So it's not even milkshake. What a weird phrase. I don't know. But there you go, folks. That is the NES port of the Ninja Turtles arcade game, also known as Tmnt Ii, because the original NES game, which is infamously difficult and awkward and kind of convoluted, came first. So, real quick, yes, for those people who may be watching around the world, of course, at the time, I don't know if it's still a current thing, but at the time that these games were coming out, the Ninja Turtles, because there was laws in certain European countries about using the term ninja, I don't remember exactly why. It's probably because in real life ninjas were assassins and kind of cold-hearted. But they were called the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. So, and in Japan, the original NES Ninja Turtles game was not titled that. They retitled it to a different thing. I don't remember exactly. I don't have the translation notes in front of me. So when this game came out in Japan, this was just called Ninja Turtles the arcade game. It didn't have the 2. Which I guess meant that when Turtles 3 came out, it was Turtles 2 over there. I don't know, but yes, international name confusion. Our victorious turtles and their turtle blimp. Wonder if they got their turtle van towed after wrecking it earlier. See, produced by Ultra, which is really Konami. Oh no, the Shredder lives! Ha 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 ha! Dot 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 dot. Evil never dies. But we thank you for joining us. Come back next week. We're going to do some more Ninja Turtle games. And depending on how March goes and how, as I said, my hardware thing goes, we may have even more Turtle stuff in the other weeks of March. We're just going to have to cross our fingers on that one, folks. But for now, I'm going to sign off. It's been over 75 minutes. Little extra length time today. But we went through the whole game. For those of you who've never seen the game, now you've seen it. And if you can find yourselves a copy, I suggest playing it because it is a good classic beat 'em up. For now, enjoy your March and keep it mean and green and on the scene.